Welcome to another edition of Book Spotlight, and this time we're exploring the world of the Undead World trilogy. And this here is Book 2, Possession of the Dead. And this cover is a cool cover because, well, one, it has a giant zombie and it has got people shooting up against him. But this building here and these ones here, and you can see it on the back, it wraps around. And all the zombie books in this trilogy have wraparound covers, by the way. But that's my downtown. That's a corner called Portage, Maine, and that's a area in the story that's a focal point. And so, yeah, the artist who I got to do it looked on the internet for some downtown pictures of Winnipeg and found some reference photos, and he created this wonderful cover, and people love it. I mean, I used to have it at cons displayed completely wide open, you know, like this, of course without the bend, nice and straight, and yeah, people just love the art, so that's really cool. But anyway, back to the book. So things have escalated since Blood of the Dead. The ending of Blood of the Dead takes a turn that most people didn't expect, and as a result, we're now in possession of the dead. And the events of the ending of Blood of the Dead feed right into it. Each book takes place literally like 2 seconds after the previous book, so it's like one continuous narrative, but of course they each have a beginning, middle, and end for what the book is about. And in Possession of the Dead, I wanted to experiment, so I have actually in this book, I have giant zombies. Some are 15 stories tall. I have other ones that are a bit shorter than that. I also incorporated not just your shamblers, you know, the shuffling zombies and the really stupid ones, but I also incorporated rage zombies and fast zombies, you know, the kind that we have all seen them, where they, you know, the red eyes and they're ripping down the street chasing after you, and good luck trying to outrun them. And when they do get a hold of you, they just rip into you crazy. Not like the shamblers who kind of almost bite casually into you in a way, but like the rage zombies, they just devour like a ravenous beast. So yeah, so we got everything in this book, and you know, like I write high action fiction, non-stop, go 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 go, and you know, some people have asked me like, how do I feel about when it's time for the editing process? Like once I'm finished the manuscript and it goes to the editor, you know, the editor making suggestions and or changes, and I've learned an important lesson in writing. Like this book, I can't remember what number book this is in terms of the number of books I've written. I don't know, 9, 10 this book number would be, I guess you could say, perhaps. But anyway, the point is, the question is, yeah, like how do you feel about an editor, like, you know, cutting out stuff or suggesting things or slashing words or whatever? And I've learned over the years of writing this important lesson from the book called Story. I cannot remember the name of the author, and it's truly embarrassing that I can't. And those watching this who've read Story know that I should know this. But basically, I want to paraphrase one thing he said. And he said in that book, every word has to serve the story. Every sentence has to serve the story. Every paragraph has to serve the story. Every single thing that happens, everything, even taking off your baseball hat, you know, like every little thing has to serve the story. And that's how you write tight fiction, right? So when you get it to your editor, finally, there's not much fat for them to trim, if any. You know, it's more an issue of just simply, you know, grammar stuff and accidental spelling mistakes and things like that, you know, basics. So yeah, learning to write like tight prose is a good thing to do. And the easiest tip to remember for that and how to do that is simply that. Every word has to serve the story. So that's what I did when I wrote Possession of the Dead. It was, again, intentionally, every word in this book has to serve the story. And it's super important. So anyway, back to the book. So now Joe and his friends are in big trouble. They're in a city full of zombies. Some are your regular shamblers, some are your rage zombies, and we got these giant guys right here. And I mean, how do you go up against this? You know, and how do you go up against a downtown filled with zombies? You know, what's going on? And you know, like, what, you're just gonna hold up somewhere and wait it out? You could, I suppose. You go the Winchester for a pint and wait for all of it to blow over, as Sean would say in Shaun of the Dead. So you could do that, I guess. But no, my heroes, of course, they get right into the thick of it and dive right in. And in this book as well, I introduce a new character. Her name is Tracy, and she's named after, it's spelled differently, but she's named after my cousin. And I made her kind of like Joe's equivalent, female femme fatale, a zombie hunter in her own right, with her own motivations and own inner demons that she's got to deal with. And she wears like a cool, it's all part of the story and explains it, but she wears like a cool like one-piece black, complementing outfit as her zombie hunting uniform. And yeah, she goes around and takes them out. And anyway, things start to get really weird in this book, and they start taking really weird turns, but we're keeping the big picture in mind when we wrote this story. Hence the wild turn at the end of Blood of the Dead. That was because of the big picture thinking that led into Possession of the Dead. And then eventually it's going to lead into the final book, which we'll talk about in a separate video. But anyway, this is the back. Angels, demons, giant zombies. Things have changed. Ever since returning through the storm of skulls to the present day, Joe, Billie, and August have discovered the world they now inhabit is not the world they left behind. The zombie threat has evolved to gargantuan proportions. Now aided by giant undead, massive monsters with phenomenal strength and power, with deadly appetites just as vast, the zombie population moves to devour any and all life. Separated from his friends, Joe learns that not all hope is lost for humanity when he meets Tracy, a woman who exudes a strength to rival his own. Tracy brings him to the Hub, an underground sanctuary where life continues in a dead world, but his thoughts linger on his missing friends. August and Billie have problems of their own, and soon learn the same plight that affected a past friend of theirs now affect many. Zombies with shapeshifting capability. Now, anyone is a suspect. Yet even with this newfound knowledge, more is heaped upon them when the agenda of the undead is revealed and humanity is the one caught in the crossfire. A war is raging, one between angels and demons, monsters and man, and it's only escalating. So this is where we kind of get to a big part of the book, and the stakes just get higher and higher and higher and higher to the point where it's overwhelming. And what are they going to do? Well, there's only one way. Read and find out. So here you go, Book 2 of the Undead World Trilogy, Possession of the Dead. Alright, links in the comments on how to get your own copy. And like, comment, subscribe, enjoy the previous Spotlight videos and everything else on the channel. It's all for you. I do it all for you guys. So here you go, Possession of the Dead, Book Spotlight, Zombies. Dun dun dun.